battered and abused, mistreated and used. No longer can I contain what people do to me. I must emphasize what they put me through. If you only knew. In my recovery journey, I've always felt a sense of rejection and a sense of being unwanted. And so writing is very instrumental because I can express myself, and through poetry I'm able to tell that story of where I am, where I'm aching in my heart. And then also it helps me to realize that I've come from a very long way. A very long way. My experience with having schizophrenia, it's like being in another world that no one else is there. And along with it came the depression, not being able to eat, not being able to sleep, not being able to think straight. I couldn't watch television. I couldn't focus. It was like my mind was a radio in which I had no control of it. And I've had tactile hallucinations where I felt things were like crawling on me. I've thought things about people that weren't true. I've seen things that other people didn't see. I couldn't be around people. I couldn't touch people. I was first diagnosed when I was 17 years old. They diagnosed me with psychosis, and I thought I was going to be in a special home, but I got better. Long story short, I went off to college. My whole first year of college, I was in a state of psychosis, having hallucinations and delusions, and I still had a 3.87 GPA. But things got worse. I was kicked out of school for owing money for school. I lost my job and I lost where I lived. And then I was in and out of the hospitals. School was my everything, and I had lost that. I wasn't able to go to school. But eventually I got out of the state hospital, and I lived in a boarding house because I couldn't go back to the environments that I was in because it was too much for me. So then I lived in transitional housing, and then in transitional housing I went to day treatment because I couldn't work. I couldn't keep a job. I was a part of a community program where I lived, and they were able to stabilize me on medication. There were times in my journey where I wasn't on medication, and not being on that medication wasn't healthy for me. Going to therapy was helpful in my journey. Also, my faith helped me to realize that not only do I have people in my life that see me as who I am, but my faith in God, knowing that He loves me just as I am. Just as I am. And that what helps me is knowing that God made the medicine that made the person that helps me. God made the person that helps me. Eventually, I did go back to work, and I did go back to school, and I got my associates in human services, my bachelor's in psychology, and my master's in professional counseling. And I do work full-time now as an academic advisor. And my mental health journey, along with my faith that has been very instrumental in my journey, has been one that I'm thankful that I've had, because I can empathize with other people who have experienced the exact same thing. I found NAMI when I was in day treatment. When I did peer-to-peer, when I did In Our Own Voice, I loved it. Because after I would present and share my story, people would come up to me and say, I'm the only one that's ever felt like I've experienced that before. And you've experienced it, and it gives people hope to know that they're not alone in their journey. And I'm so thankful that I was able to do that for people. The NAMI community to me means fellowship and friendship and a common ground. If I was talking to someone right now that has schizophrenia, I would say to them, there's hope for you. The diagnosis is not an identity. Just like if someone were to be diagnosed with diabetes, don't allow your diagnosis to stop you from being who you are. Lord, I will not compare my color with another color. I will not judge my culture with another culture. I will not condemn my denomination with another denomination. I will not judge. I will not compare. I will not condemn. But what I will do is just be me.